This little piece of road seems familiar. I think this is the piece of road where Dad locked the steering in our family car. And if I remember rightly, we ploughed into the bank on this side as opposed to going over the cliff on that side. So and that was 35 years ago. So I am taking it reasonably cautiously, driving quite defensively because I've got road tyres on. There's no knobblies, there's no all-terrain type tread on here, it's just road tyres, road tread. And they're handling this okay, but I'm on a 234 kilogram motorcycle. Then there's the fuel, then there's the luggage, then there's me, so oops, it's quite a heavy motorcycle, so I don't want to be going in hard to any of these type of bends because it's all wet and it's loose and could be quite slippery. So you just got to slow down, drive to the conditions, just relax into the ride and trust the bike, I guess. Treat the bike with respect, treat the road with respect, and trust it, I guess. And two, when you're descending down like this onto a radius turn in loose grit, wet, on road tyres, you just need to be very, very cautious. See, if a car came around here and I braked hard, I could, even at low speed, I could off I come. And I've already dropped the bike once, which really annoyed me because I scuffed a new paint job. Front wheel travelling in that grit there. So if this was sealed, I wouldn't be driving perhaps where I am now. I'm using as much of the road as I dare to without going too far onto the wrong side, because I don't want to be in those wheel ruts and on a camber. Now, is this the end of the gravel? Let's have a look. Promising. A few houses around now. No, bit of gravel here. Let's get up over here. And one good thing about this old bike is it's got dual combined braking. So if I use the back brake, all of the pistons driving the rear brakes come on, and half of the ones driving the front brakes come on. If I use the front brake, all of the pistons driving the front brake system come on, and half of the rear ones come on. So what I'm doing is leaving the front brake alone because I don't want to brake excessively on this. I don't have ABS braking. So I just need to gently use the rear brake. Oops. Don't want to be on this side of the road. Let's get back over here. That's the thing about the cambers on these roads, is they can be all over the place depending how it was graded last, and depending on what sort of traffic's been on here and when the front wheel gets into one of these camber type systems, wheel rut type situations, it can track the bike to where you don't want to be. So anyway, if I just gently use the rear brake, some of the front brake will come on, so I don't need to worry too much about that. So on this type of service, I'm just going to mainly use the rear brake and let the bike look after itself. The bike, bit of travel in the front wheel there. I typically use the front and the rear brake together, even though they're linked and they're combined. I guess it's just old school stuff. Use the front and the rear together. Right, a little bit of seal here. I wonder how long this will last. Oh wow. Very good. There was a beautiful little stream in there into the native bush, and looks like we're back onto gravel again. Right, so that's taken me down into that wheel rut because of the camber sort of directed the front wheel down there. Beehives there, they'll get access to all this manuka around here. Oop, get some manuka honey there. Felt the front wheel travelling there, it's got to be careful of that. That's what we don't want. And I don't want the camber to drive me off into that type of situation as well, so that's why I'm sort of trying to stay on the crown in the middle. Which means I also have to be very aware of any oncoming cars, because you know, four wheels on the ground, they're going to be coming a lot harder than what I will be. An old derelict house there. I wonder what that history is for that little house, whether that was a home. Right, this is actually showing not too, quite a way off still. There's a fuel stop, which means I'll be back onto a main system somewhere along the line. Well, it actually looks quite a way in. Now the GPS is saying I'm going to be at my destination in 9 minutes. So I would have been better to have stayed on that main road and gone through Whitianga. No, not in 9 minutes. It's added a couple of hours onto my time, I think, if I'm reading this right. So I left Hot Water Beach at 6 o'clock, expecting to be in Coromandel at 7 o'clock, and it's taken me that way. So now I'm not going to be in Coromandel until 8 o'clock, which is a little bit annoying, because today's going to be a very, very long day for me, and I'm travelling several hundreds of kilometres today to get home, hopefully today. So coming this way has banged a whole hour onto the trip. So thanks very much, GPS. Good old Zorro, eh? Gets lost going in a straight line. I'm travelling with the GPS and it gets me lost. Although not really getting me lost, because my start location and my end location are fixed. GPS knows where it's going, but it hasn't taken me the way I expected to go, which was only going to be an hour to Coromandel. I don't know what this other time is down there where it says 5:40. Is it 5 hours 40 minutes? The top one says 7 o'clock. If the top time is my arrival time, then that's okay. Coromandel, Whitianga, Thames is there. Thames is there. This is the way. You know what it's done? You know what it's done? I'm going up here to Coromandel. What I want to be doing is going back down that way through Thames to go home. It's taken me a shortcut right across the peninsula instead of going up around the coastline. 1 hour to Coromandel. It's taken me across the peninsula on that gravel road. Now, that's saying that Coromandel is 3 kilometres ahead. And it's saying I'm going to get there at 6:59 or 7 o'clock. So it's the top time that I'm going by, not the 100. So, okay, yep. It was an hour. So this is Coromandel, right at the tip of the Coromandel Peninsula. Now the GPS is set on the Coromandel Information Centre. So this is Coromandel. Well, thank you for joining me, everybody. I'm just going to set the GPS now to the Huka Falls in Taupo. So thank you for coming along, and please join me again. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do so. Right, drive to point of interest. Right, so there we go. We're in Coromandel, at the tip of the Coromandel Peninsula, and we've done 1,189 kilometres, and I'm starting my some gas there. Still got half a tank, and I'm starting my journey home now.